Hey guys, it's Jonathan here from GuitarTipsWeekly.com. Just checking, thought something was loose here, but it's not. Today is the first time I'm going to talk about an alternate tuning. It sounds really cool. I love this is drop D. Basically, all that you do is you drop your E string down, the 6th string down a full tone. Okay, that's to D. So of course that screws things up. You can't play a normal chord. Sounds terrible. Anything that would normally involve the low E here, you have to think in your brain, how do I need to compensate for this, right? But if you're playing something like a D, now all of a sudden you can use those open notes, right? Because think about it, before when you're playing a D, normally you just use the top 4 strings because the D is your root note. But what's the 5th string? The 5th string is an A, and A is part, like in relation to the D, and A is the 5th, right? So that belongs in the chord anyways. Then we're just adding another D. So you can actually use all of the strings. It makes it sound really rich and really kind of chunky, right? If you're not familiar with the 145 thing I was talking about there, head over to 145.com. You can learn more. Alright, so I like playing around with alternate tunings because it can give you a completely different perspective on your guitar. Right? You can make things sound totally different. So just a quick one for you. Drop it down and then play around, right? I like using that form sometimes to play a G. It's not really a G, it's kind of like a power chord almost. Because remember, my G is up here on the 5th fret now, right? Because I've dropped everything down. So it's kind of like I'm playing a power chord. So you can use that, and then I like hitting those top 2 strings there on the 3rd fret. Solo to B minor. Sorry, just got distracted there. What was I doing? Well, I was playing a D. That's a D triad. Actually, I was adding another note there, so it's a chord. But where does that come from? Remember, top of the our D major chord in standard tuning would be like this, right, at the 10th fret. Same as the E form, open E form, but at the 10th fret, okay? So all I've done is I've basically removed the top strings off of that, and now I just play it right there. But because I'm in drop D, I've got my D and my A, which is a 5th. So it sounds really cool just like that, right? Then this is a C, and you can kind of keep that the low D rolling in there too a little bit if you want. But then if you remember way back to that triads video I did, I showed you the D form triads, and this is a D right here at the 7th fret. So that sounds cool too, right? And of course D is one of the notes in the G chord as well. So again, we can use this, right? So those triads work really well with the drop D tuning. If you remember back, Maybe I'll put a link on the page if you're on GuitarTipsWeekly.com. I'll put a link right on this page. If you're watching the video, you can link back to that triads lesson. If you're on YouTube, subscribe now. And then head over to GuitarTipsWeekly.com and look this up. Just do a search on Drop D, you'll find it. And I'll have a link there to the triads one as well, right? So basically, you're using your triads. That's a major form. This is another major form. I guess I'm not really explaining a whole lot today, just more showing you. You'll have to refer back to the other lesson to figure that one out. But yeah, experiment with that. Just play around with it. So that's mostly just in using my D, C, and G. But you can also use the proper chords in the key of D too, right? Because that's kind of a hybrid key of G kind of thing weird that's going on there. So use D, A, and G, right? Or D, G, and A, I guess, is the 1, 4, 5. Anywhere you can get that D to ring out, do it. It sounds so cool. Alrighty, have fun with that. We'll see you again next time. Jonathan here, GuitarTipsWeekly.com.